Biofriendly Podcast. It's the Biofriendly Podcast.
Okay.
Making breath noises.
Oh, you're starting it out with some ASMR. That's very nice. It's very nice. If we were wanting to do an episode about gusts of wind and their effects on the climate, you would nail it.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah. I was getting ready to say, when I sat down, I was going to say, I always go, okay, because in my head, I hear Peter Falk in The Princess Bride. When he sits down, I hear...
Yeah, with Fred Savage.
Yeah, when he sits down, he goes, okay. All right. When he's getting situated.
Yeah.
So every time I say that, I hear that scene in my head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I never thought about how much that's stuck in my head as normal. Like when a story begins, there's a part of my head that goes, okay.
Yeah, right.
All right.
Right? It's weird how that it lands in your brain and stays there.
Yeah.
And you realize it's like a reference to a film, but
Yeah.
I've been doing that probably
But I feel
my
like
whole
that's
life.
what my grandpa did,
Yeah.
even though he didn't.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Just getting situated. And it's good because we have these leather chairs that we sit in.
Yeah.
And they make that creak.
Yeah,
like
they
we're
totally do.
Like the old codgers that we are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, there's an upside to being an old codger.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
I'm gonna read so many stories to
I
my
am
children
too.
just like that.
I know. I kind of always envisioned I would be that grandpa. You know,
Yeah.
that I would be like, all right, let's crack this book open.
Lick the finger.
Lick the finger, pull the page. Okay. All right,
all right.
let's dig into this book
So
here.
what's this story about?
Yep.
Yeah.
And they're like, what is that item in your hand, Grandpa? It's a book. What's a book?
Back in the old days.
We could do the old British voice when we read, too. We could
Oh,
do
we
that.
could.
Oh, yes, read to... Grandpa, why are you doing that with your voice?
Because all great stories are read in a fantastic old man British boy.
Of course they are. Of course they are.
No.
Well, I'm back. I'm back from
welcome home.
Thanks, buddy. I'm
Yeah.
here. I've returned from my journey.
Yes.
And we're back. We're doing
here.
another Biofriendly podcast, audio only.
Audio only.
And it's all my fault.
Yeah,
It's my fault.
that's correct.
I apologize.
You are totally to blame.
It's because I went on vacation and doing video before I left and right when I got home
Yes.
would be very tricky.
So impossible.
So impossible.
Yes.
So this is just for the audio files. And that's why we began with Noel doing Gusts of Wind.
Yeah. So that those people who appreciate that kind of thing could really get a good
Yes.
start, could be
Yeah.
prepared,
Yes.
could see what's coming.
Those are the diehard fans. They
Yes.
they tune in just for Noel going,
Do you ever wonder if the movie Die Hard chose that name just so that they could take ownership of that phrase?
I had not thought of that, but that's
You
a
know?
good possibility.
Because you just said the Die Hard fans, and that could refer to the fans of Die Hard.
That's true. And now they are. So if you're a diehard fan,
Like, what if you're a Die Hard fan? Like, do you have to say it twice at that point? Or are you just a Die Hard
like
fan?
is the fan community of diehard like we're diehards?
Diehards. Right?
Oh my God.
Right?
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just,
Yeah. Is there a film called Big Fan? Because then you'd be big fans
The
of
big
Big Fan.
fans.
like
yeah, I'm a diehard fan of Big Fan.
I love it. We're the diehards. Yeah.
With a vengeance.
Many of them.
Yeah.
Many of them.
Yeah.
Those are good films.
Heck, they are fantastic
They
films,
are.
for the most part.
For the record, even though this has nothing to do with the Biofriendly podcast, do you believe this is a hot topic?
Hot
by the way.
topic. I'm ready for hot topic.
Coming in with a
Hot take to start this
hot take.
sucker off. All right.
Some people say that Die Hard 1 is a Christmas film. Do you believe that it is?
I believe that it is.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yay!
Oh my God. This is
There's no
this
argument.
This is not good for
This
radio.
is good. I don't believe it.
I should
No.
have said, how could you call it a Christmas film?
Right.
It's not a Christmas film
Yeah.
because, well, see, and that's what I should do. I should take the opposite side of that and argue. But the fact is, I believe in my heart
Yes.
that it's a Christmas movie.
I think so too.
Because all Christmas movies are just like, what do you do? And in this case, the Christmas situation is being trapped in a skyscraper with a psychopath.
In an action film.
Yeah.
I mean, they literally play sleigh bells in the film score.
Yes.
If you're going to add sleigh bells to your film score, it's a Christmas movie. I don't care what genre it is.
This is somebody's Christmas.
Yeah.
And a Christmas miracle occurs when John McClane saves his wife and
Yep.
all those, other people who are, somewhat important, but not
Somewhat.
as important, and,
Minor.
and kills Alan Rickman.
Yeah.
Did I just give away too much of the movie?
Spoiler alert,
Spoiler
if you
alert.
haven't seen Die Hard 35 years later, that's on you.
That's true.
That's on you.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad we agree because I people get mad. People get you can debate this online because even the director, I can't remember what his stance on it was, but I was like, whatever your intention was, pal, it's a Christmas movie.
I mean, how could he not think it's a Christmas movie? He put sleigh bells in the movie.
Sleigh bells, and I have
and had it set during Christmas.
I know, and I have this great gift that was given to me that is a Christmas book.
Yeah.
Of Die Hard.
Okay.
So it's like illustrated and it's like, but it's told in rhyme, like the night before Christmas. So it's like the night before Christmas and all in Nakatomi, whatever. And it's
terrific.
It's fantastic. And it's like, it totally has the yippee-ki-yay bit in there too. So it's not necessarily for children.
No.
It's more for adults.
Sure.
But I have it and it's perfect. It's
I think that's the kind of thing that when your kids are teenagers, you read
Yeah,
to them
totally.
as if it was a children.
Yes.
Now children. All right. Okay.
Okay. And we're back.
All right, we're back. Everybody lay down.
That's the book I'm going to be reading. It's Die Hard.
Yeah.
Oh, it all comes full circle.
See? All right, well, this podcast is over.
All right, we're done. Thanks, guys. This has been the best one ever. No, this episode, what we're going to do is while I was on vacation, while I was traveling, I got to see family, I got to see friends, and they were really excited about the podcast. They were saying that they were staying tuned. And then others that have been like, I've only had a chance to check out one or two. But the number one question I got asked by everybody was like, what are things that I can do? Like, how can I help the environment? What are steps? And I would walk people through some basic steps. So
And you'd be like, listen to the podcast.
Yeah.
You're killing my job. Like I'm trying to do. I've already explained.
What I would
this.
do is slap them and say, listen to my show.
Yeah.
Download
Would
it.
you slap them on the butt of the environment?
I would slap them on the
Give
butt
the
of
earth
on-
a pat- a butt pat?
absolutely, and
Yeah.
say, good hustle out there.
Good hustle out there.
Yeah, it's a callback to like episode 1. Great job. But I would scold them for not keeping up and listening to every single one and memorizing them. But then I would follow
They
up and
should
say,
already know.
they should already know. If
they
you were
were
a fan of the show, you
They
would
were
know.
real environmentalists like
That's
the rest
right.
of us.
Like me
Yeah.
and you.
Yeah, like us.
So I told them I would list off some things. So then I thought, oh, you know what? When I get back, we should do an episode. Then instead of being on one specific topic, it should be 15 simple ways that you can start living a more eco-friendly life. And wouldn't you know it, I went to our own website,
What?
Biofriendly Planet.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
We actually discussed this on our own website?
On biofriendlyplanet.com, we have an article that is called 15 Really Simple Ways to Start Living a More Eco-Friendly Life. And I was like, how about that?
Wait a minute.
It's
Are
like
you
we're ahead of
telling
it.
me that our environmental education website, Biofriendly Planet magazine,
Yes.
is actually giving educational environmental information to the people of the world?
Yes, sir.
So people could just go to that website and they
Yeah.
would find great information like this?
Yeah, so if you're a diehard environmentalist,
Well, if you're not, or if you're a big fan.
or if you're a big fan, whether you're a diehard or a big fan of the environment, you go to
Biofriendly Planet.
Biofriendly Planet.
It's for you.
And Tara was the one who made this our wonderful guest
that's awesome.
and the one who provides most of the content out there. She was the one who put this out there. And I was like, okay, well look, she already has it ready to go. So
She's taking care of the work for us.
taking care of the work. So
Well, sock it to me, Nakatomi.
Nakatomi. Let's dig in, John McClane.
Yeah.
All right. So the number one on the list. This is a tough one.
Okay.
Because it took me a minute, took you a minute. The first one is change your mindset. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stop.
Really. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh.
I just cut you off in the middle of a radio
okay.
show. This is terrible.
How dare we? Stop thinking it's acceptable for the majority of the materials you use and products you buy to be disposable. So it's about you've got to have a little bit of a shift.
Right.
You've got to have a mental shift. And I would say that it's not an overnight shift.
No.
And I think that if you've been listening to the show from the beginning and from the people that I talked to on vacation, even they were like, it's amazing how I'm starting to think differently.
Right.
And I think that that's the key.
And actually, that's really the point of the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
That's like number one is pretty much the reason we
Yep.
have the podcast.
Yep.
Like the rest of it is pretty much covered by Biofriendly Planet magazine.
Yes.
But the purpose of the podcast is to get people to start to look at other things.
Right.
And start to shift the mindset.
Yeah. Through our hilarity.
Through our incredible diehard jokes, through patting the butt of the environment,
through ASMR, wind gusts, and
through visits from future Bill and Ted, Noel and Jacob,
and Peter Falk imitations, reading a book. Okay.
and the old men who sometimes
And the old men who come in and share their feelings too. So you're right that it's about changing your mindset, and that's not an easy thing to do. But we're there with them, right?
Yeah.
We're there, right there with you, the audience. That we are gradually, daily changing our mindset, changing the way we feel about things. We're laughing about our mistakes. We're laughing about the things that we haven't quite got right, and we hope you are too.
Yeah.
Because that's a good way to learn.
And you should.
Yeah,
You
laugh about
absolutely
it.
should. And you shouldn't beat yourself up.
Yeah.
For not pulling it off.
Yeah.
For having a bad day. For whatever. For
You
doing
had
something
a bad day.
Take it down. That's the other kind of key to it. I think that there's too much of a tendency in environmentalism because it's been a rough go for
It has
environmentalists.
been.
Let's not say it hasn't.
Yeah.
That like if you're gonna go out there and try to do it, don't feel bad when you fail. Just keep trying, and that's what the mindset is about. It's
Absolutely.
like just do your best, get yourself in a different place.
John McClane didn't take him out at the first go.
That's right.
He struggled. He had no shoes on.
He had no shoes on.
He walked on glass. It took a minute for him to take down those guys, and that's a metaphor for environmentalism. We're all living in planet Nakatomi Plaza.
Yeah.
And
there is an awful terrorist
called carbon emissions and climate change
that have Alan Rickman's voice, God rest his soul.
Yes.
And they, but they're not Alan Rickman because he's wonderful.
Yeah, he was
he's an
wonderful.
amazing
Wonderful
actor
man,
and a
yeah.
great guy. Love.
Yes. I wish I could do it, Alan Rickman. I
That'd be
really.
great if we could all do an Alan Rickman.
He is a hard one to
He's a
impersonate.
very difficult
He has a very specific kind of name. He's like Mr. Potter. It's like
One would think you weren't up to
yes.
something,
It's so hard. It's so hard. We're close, but too far.
but we are not close enough.
That's right.
One day we might get close enough.
I loved Alan Rickman
He
so
was-
much.
he
He
was
was
so good.
so great.
But we digress. The
Yes.
carbon emission,
Are the terrorists.
bad guy terrorists, right? And you are John McClane.
Yes.
And it's not something that you're gonna like the first time. It might not work out. You might fall down an elevator shaft and have to catch yourself or something. Like stuff could be tough. But if you if you have that John McClane spirit, and you just keep fighting for your wife,
Yes. You're gonna do it.
you will save the
You
environment.
will save the environment. And the naysayers that are trying to talk you out of it are that guy who what's that character's name? The guy who's in the office is like, listen, babe. All right, babe. And he's like, get out of there. They're gonna kill you.
They're gonna kill you.
Those are the people trying to talk you out of environmentalism. So it all comes back to Die Hard.
It comes back to Die Hard.
Yeah. I
Be
agree.
a die-hard environmentalist.
Agreed.
Yes, and that doesn't see. This is the new misnomer we're going to set up. You should be a die-hard environmentalist, and that doesn't mean being a jerk.
Yes.
That
it
means following the John McClane principles of saving lives.
It's gonna be a struggle, but you're gonna do it.
Yeah, be die-hard.
And then there's going to be a Die Hard 2 and a 3
And 4, and with a vengeance.
and a 5. Yes. All right, number 2. Get yourself a reusable cup to use while driving, traveling. Get yourself a reusable cup. It's very easy. It doesn't even cost that much. First of all, you can go fancy, and if you go on to Amazon or whatever, and I mean, eventually, hopefully, we can provide some really good. You could come to our website and you could buy our reusable cups.
Yeah, baby.
But I think that you could go online and you could look up like an eco-friendly one that's made out of good materials, or you can just find a basic couple bucks aluminum, something reusable, even a very good high quality plastic that you're going to use for years and years and years. That's totally fine.
Yeah, I mean, look, go to Target.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? You don't even have to go.
Don't even go online. Go to a store.
Target, go to Walmart. Go to like any place, or Amazon if you want, and just get. They have these really. They're probably $15.
Yeah,
and they're aluminum.
Yeah,
and they're
great.
They're wonderful because they have the 2 layers of aluminum, so you're keeping the cold in the inside,
the cold, and the hot
on
in the hot.
outside.
Yep.
And then you put your ice in your cup, and it'll stay cold all day
long.
and you drink your water from that thing, and it's wonderful.
They've mastered that technology.
They've mastered the technology.
So go get one and use it all the time. Take it with you for water. Take it with you for coffee. Whatever you got to do, get a reusable container for drinking.
You'll be glad. I mean,
Yes.
it's actually, I find, I didn't think I would find this, but I found that it's actually
I love it.
better. It's
love it.
actually more pleasant because you just, the water lasts
Yeah.
and it stays the right temperature, even
Yeah.
if you've left it in your car.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy.
It's amazing. I think we should all have, I think we should return to like the Old West and we'll be like cowboys, but have holsters. And on the right, you have your cold drink. On the left, you have your hot drink. And everybody walks around packing drinks.
Packing.
Exactly. All right, number 3, purchase less and waste less. And this is going back to the point 1 of changing your mindset. You probably, a lot of the times, you don't need it. Don't get it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we have a consumerism kind of desire to get something, trinkets, little things all the time. And a lot of times we have what we need at home. We have the items already. You know, of course, if you need that item and you want to contribute to the economy, get it. But what I'm saying is, you know, it's just some of the times we tend to get things that we don't need.
Right.
You know?
Basically, what we're saying is cancel Christmas.
Yes, that's the plan. Cancel
That's
Christmas. Yes, cancel Christmas.
Because Christmas is, as we all know, the worst environmental holiday.
It is.
It is the death of us all.
Yes.
We all buy too much. I'm totally lying, by the way. Christmas is my favorite holiday.
Your name is Noel Carroll.
It is.
You're like the patron saint of
Yes.
Christmas.
You know what? Here's what I'll say. Here's what I'll say. On a day like Christmas, you can make it even more special by waiting,
Yeah.
right?
Uh-huh.
And really thinking about, do I need that thing? And instead of just getting it, you pop it on a list.
Yeah.
Be like, this is a thing that I was looking at that could be of interest. And then keep that list rolling.
Yeah.
And then when Christmas comes and people are like, well, what do you want? Instead of being like, oh, I don't know. I mean, which is what everybody says at Christmas.
That's so true.
You pull out your list of things you didn't buy over the year because you were being environmentally friendly, and you say, here's some things I looked at
that I kind of wanted.
Maybe one of those would be kind of neat.
That's a good idea.
And now suddenly everybody can give everybody else something that they want.
Yeah.
And Christmas is even more special because you didn't go and get the stuff yourself all year long. You actually are just getting it as a gift from somebody.
Yeah, and people aren't buying stuff that you didn't really want at all and giving it to
Exactly.
you, and then you have this weird obligation to keep it because they got it for you, and you're like, thanks.
And now you've potentially set yourself up to do that thing we didn't want you to do, which was waste.
Waste.
So now you're going to throw away a pair of headphones you didn't need because
love
they're
it.
not Beats.
Baby. I love it. That's great advice. That is great
you.
advice. Very good advice. Okay, number 4, spend a little time out in nature as often as you can. Every day or every other day, try to get outside. And if you live in a climate that it's difficult to do that, you know, I think the point is if we're always surrounded by, you know, buildings and walls and artificial lighting, we never really get that sense and that connection with the planet and what's going on outside with the trees, the wind, the gusts of wind that you provided at the beginning of the episode. Those things really ground you and remind you what it's all for.
Right. There is a tendency on the Earth planet that we live today
Yes.
to have your head in your device.
True.
Right. So you're looking at what's in front of you. You're
Head down.
playing a game. You're reading an article. You're commenting on something that's driving you crazy, and you're getting into
a
flame
fight.
war.
Yes, you're getting into fights.
Like this is, or you're just having like a chat sesh
Yeah.
with your homegirl across the street.
Right.
I don't know if any of those words are words people use anymore, but
They are.
I did.
We are
Okay.
up to date and hip.
Hip
And
with it.
Yeah, we are with it, and we are groovy.
So groovy.
And you nailed that.
I am a hipster if ever there was one.
Absolutely.
Right here. I'm dressed in like it. I'm doing it. We have a tendency to be in that world and to sit there in this world that is, you know, between 6 inches and 2 feet in front of our face.
Yes.
And we don't bother to look around at what it is that we're trying to save. And if you don't keep looking at what it is that we're trying to save, you don't remember what the point is.
Yeah.
And so it doesn't really matter. And you keep kind of doing what you're doing.
That's true.
So by taking a minute, even if it's just a walk around the street, even if it's outside in the city and all you're looking at are the little trees that are they put on the sidewalk, it still helps.
Agreed.
It still makes a difference.
Get your butt outside.
Just the point is to make you look at what else is happening.
Yeah, because on my vacation, I was in Illinois, and my stalker did not find me, thankfully.
God, that's great.
Yeah, because I was way out there.
Because I gave her your address.
Yeah, I know.
That's weird.
So I was out there, and there was part of the time that we were driving like way out in farm, open fields, just green countryside.
Yeah.
And it really does do something. It's almost unexplainable. It does something to the soul, it does something to spirit when you get outside and you just experience that a little bit. Because we live in LA.
Yeah.
We're constantly surrounded by industry and cars and highways and buildings. And when you get out and you just kind of look, I would stare out the window as we were driving, and I was like, man, this feels good.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it does something.
It's true. It's absolutely true. And you know what? Actually, that's a great point you just made. Yeah. When like in LA, it's 200 miles of city.
Yeah, it really is.
From Ventura down to San Diego.
Yeah.
It's all city.
Yeah.
Right? And in all that you can think, oh, there is no nature, whatever else. But even in this area where it's all city, you've got these mountains.
Yeah.
That have trails.
Yeah.
You know, and you walk through them, and maybe they're desert plants, but they're plants. It still gets you there.
Oh, those hikes are the best.
Yeah.
I love living close to that. And if you don't, it doesn't take you that long to do, like if you time it right in the city, if you're not going during rush hour, you can get to mountains or you can get to ocean.
To the ocean.
Yeah, pretty easily if you time it right. You know, if you wait till a Saturday or Sunday and you get out the door early, you can get there pretty quick. So
And even if you can't, just walk around outside. You're still going to see a pigeon out there crapping on a car, and that counts.
Yeah. Take off your shoes and make fists with your toes on the grass. That's another Die Hard reference. Remember?
Yes.
He's on the plane, and the guy's he's like, right when you get to the hotel, you take off your shoes and you make little fists with your toes on the carpet. But there is something, take off your shoes and put your feet on earth.
Put your feet on the asphalt and just kind of grind it.
Just grind it in there. Yep. You need it.
What it is.
All right, number 5. Conserve energy by turning off lights in unoccupied rooms. Okay?
I tell this to my children every daggum day.
Turn off the lights. Me too. Yeah. I actually, when we're leaving the house and I look back and I see like a room light, I'm like, turn off the lights. Yeah.
Isn't that annoying how you become your father?
I know. I am such a
dad.
Okay.
Why are we trying to light the city?
Yeah, right. But it's true. It's true. I always turn off lights, and I can't even when I leave a room and there's somebody sitting in there still. I will turn off the light just instinctually, and they're like, "Hey," because my assumption is we're leaving this room. Right. Lights are going off. So if you aren't doing that now, these two dads are here to say, turn off the lights.
Turn off the lights and get off our lawn.
Get off our lawn. All right. Number 6, only wash dishes and do laundry with full loads and during non-peak hours.
Right.
Okay. So
which is actually easy to do if you think about it, because why not run that dishwasher overnight? Like, why would you do it during the day anyway?
Yeah.
Because during the daytime, you probably need the dishes.
Exactly.
So just plan, dude.
Yeah, and I didn't, when I read that, I was like, I don't know if everybody knows peak hours. So I'm going to tell you when peak hours are.
All right.
That's what we're here to do. So peak hours. In the summer, these hours are typically from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. during weekdays. Mm-hmm. That's the peak hours. So from 10 to 8, Monday through Friday, that's when you should probably dial back your energy use, because everybody's doing stuff at the point in time. So do it sometime before, sometime after.
Right.
Okay. And then during the winter, these peak hours are typically from 7 a.m. to 11. 7 a.m. to 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. I think they meant 11 p.m. I can't tell. This person, I think, typoed, because then it says and 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. So they're basically.
No, yeah.
What do you think did they mess up, or am I just misreading this?
Yeah, they messed up. No, I think it's morning.
Yeah, they're just saying
not midday,
and
then afternoon into the early evening.
Yes, I think they mean 7 a.m. to 11 a.m., then 5 p.m. to 9 p.m.
Yes,
during winter. That's what they mean.
That's what they mean.
This person needs to get their act together.
Get your act together, folks.
Oh no, it's getyouracttogether.com.
Oh, sorry, we're on the wrong website.
Wrong website.
Get your act together. They do tests on getyouracttogether.com where they test your mind. Did you actually see what you're... Yeah. Well, all right, and then people might be wondering, why does it matter when I use the energy? And that's an interesting question.
Do tell.
Yeah, so here's the deal. Here's the deal.
Okay. Here's the deal.
The problem that we have isn't as much with generation of energy, although obviously that's an emissions issue. Mm-hmm. The problem is moving it, transmission of electricity, and then storage of electricity. Like, how do you keep electricity once you've generated it from disappearing?
Right.
Because every time you put energy in a battery, it slowly disappears. It slowly leaks out and it's gone.
Like my phone.
Like your phone, right? So what, and if you generate energy, 200 miles away, you have to get it to where it's going, which means you've got to move it, right? So in an ideal world, you would make the energy and use it as it's being made and then have it be in a constant loop, and then you wouldn't waste any energy, and then you wouldn't need to create any new emissions. Right? But we don't live in an ideal world yet. We're still working on it,
and we're going to make it happen.
We're going to make it happen.
Right.
So by everybody using all the power at once, what happens is power is still being generated and still being transmitted.
Yeah.
But you're not using it, so that means they have to store it, which means now some of it is being wasted as it leaks out of its storage.
Wow.
See? So if you're using some of that power when no one else is using the power, then you're not you're helping to lower the amount of wasted energy that is being created.
Yeah.
And that's kind of why it's an environmentally good idea to do that. Does that make sense?
It does. You're the only smart one on this podcast.
That's not true.
I'm just a dummy who reads the
true.
internet. All this, here's what you should know. People who've already watched, I hold a device in my hand that I can research. Noel holds nothing in his hands, and it just comes from his mind. And I love it. I love it.
You are a genius. You can stop saying you're like, God,
I'm a diehard genius.
This guy's a diehard genius. You ask Jacob.
Yeah.
Any song from the 1990s that's even remotely alternative, and he will, within the first note,
I was just bragging.
Exactly
I was just bragging about this. I have to say, I do brag about it to people because it does feel like such a fun party trick. I'm like, literally, if you open up Spotify right now and you play a song from the 90s, I will guess it.
Yeah.
So anyway,
and immediately,
that
is the thing.
Within the first note of the song,
man. And we would. This was a fun game actually, because we would actually pull up just the most random, like locationally specific, just tiny songs that there's no way anyone else has heard of. And Jacob, within
seconds,
moments,
milliseconds,
it's like, I know what that is.
Yeah. It's a good party trick.
It is.
Yeah. All right. Where was I? It was on wash dishes and do laundry not during non-peak hours. Okay. Number 7. Make your toilet and faucets low flow. So I don't even know how to do that. But if you go to the Biofriendly Planet website, there is a link in here that says you can simply make a few changes and you'll have a low flow toilet. It's linked. So I'm not going to give all that away here because you got to go to the site if you want to learn more about it. Yeah, man. I'm not going to do all the work for you.
It's about time we send people over to Biofriendly Planet.
Yeah, go over.
Biofriendlyplanet.com.
Yeah.
Go there,
and there's a link. Like in number 7, if you click this link, it'll take you to a guide on how to do that.
Yeah.
So
we don't have time to tell you right now.
No. So figure it out. Yeah. Okay. Number 8, open windows and doors to air out your home naturally.
That's right, baby.
I do that because I smell.
Yeah.
But let the fresh air in, stale air out, improving indoor air quality. No, I think I love a good window open with the breeze coming in. I love that.
Yes, that does so much for your home. It keeps your home cool.
Cool.
Right?
It's nice and
keeps
cool.
your home smelling nice. You don't have to spray garbage all around it to get spray cleaners and things. It's a great idea. And it feels good.
Yeah, it does. And what you just said is perfect because the next one, number 9, right after 8, it says, don't buy commercial chemically based air fresheners. Mm-hmm. Don't do it.
I mean, you could call that, she probably extended it to 15 right there, but you could call that A and B right there.
Yeah, you could call A and B. Yeah, because don't buy commercial chemically based air fresheners. And in here, it says you can make your own using a small 4-ounce glass spray bottle filled with either 1 teaspoon of witch hazel rubbing alcohol or 2 teaspoons of vodka, obviously Tito's vodka.
Obviously.
And a 1/2 cup distilled water and 20 to 30 drops of your favorite essential oil. So you can that's a little guide there. And if you
See-
forgot that from me reading it to you, you can go look on the site.
This is why you got to go to biofriendly.
Yeah, look at that tip.
Because Tara has so many random, just like
Yeah.
DIY. Here's
Yeah.
how you do this thing yourself.
Yeah,
Tips
that's an air
that are
freshener.
just so awesome.
You don't need to go buy the Glade.
Yeah.
You don't need to go to the store and buy that potpourri spray.
And we've all got vodka in the
We've
cupboard
all
anyway.
got it in the cupboard. Don't
and we
pretend
only
like you
drink
don't.
Tito's,
Tito's
because
vodka.
they help the environment.
These, one day Tito's is going to find out how much free press they're getting from this
I know,
podcast, and they're
right.
going to be like, "You guys have unlimited Tito's."
Which would be great because it's actually my favorite.
It is.
Yeah,
It's
I
one of
love
my
how it
favorites.
tastes.
It's
Yeah.
when I get vodka, I do buy that one.
Yeah. Well,
because-
it's my favorite, like everyday brand.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
I
yeah.
drink vodka every day.
Is that what's in your cup? Okay, good. Number 10. You can also, let's read this one. You can also use windows and doors to help monitor indoor temperatures. On hot days, ensure windows, blinds stay closed while sun is high in the sky to keep indoor temps down. So, like, if you're wanting to keep your house cool and it's really bright and sunny outside, then close those blinds, try to keep that sun from coming in, and you won't need to crank that AC.
Right.
You can use the air conditioner, but you don't need to crank it.
Right.
That's the key.
This is like being Windows smart is pretty much what these last three are about. Yeah. When it's cool out, man, let that breeze flow.
Let it flow.
When it's hot out,
Close it.
trap it outside.
Yeah, exactly. So then, number 11, get organic, fresh foods from local stores and farmers markets. I love that.
We discussed this already.
Yes, we
and
did.
As a reminder, why it's important to buy locally.
Buy locally. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Contribute to your community. Help local farmers.
Yep.
That's going to help everyone in general. And when you go to farmers markets, they don't bag it in plastic, and they're not in giant plastic containers. It's usually like unpackaged, and you can take it in, some kind of carrier that you brought, like a bag along the way, so you won't be going home with a bunch of plastic waste and fresh veggies. And they look good too. I love my farmer's market. There's a great farmer's market up by where I live.
I know you guys have a really good. What's every Saturday, right? Or is it
It's every Sunday.
That's a great farmer's
It's a
market. there.
great one.
Yeah,
It's great.
If I said where it was, then everybody would know. Then
Then
your
my
stalker will know where your house is.
I eluded my stalker in Illinois, so don't you tell him where I live.
I know. It's one of my favorite things to just
Yeah.
give your stalker hints.
It's fine.
me.
Keep him. Where in the world is Jacob's crazy stalker?
That's hilarious.
I'll find you, Gibbons.
Yeah, no, but this is the same. It's the same as the power problem, right? People
Yeah.
don't realize the environmental cost of moving things.
Yes.
Just moving stuff requires energy, and energy still pollutes. We haven't stopped that problem yet.
We like to move it.
Yes. So the less we're moving things,
Yes.
the less energy we're wasting, and that's better.
I love it.
Yep.
I love it. Good. Number 12, make your own meals at home. Stay away from processed foods. It's healthier, costs less, and most of the time tastes better too. So all of us, I know that's something that we all feel. I know, and hey, I'm going to straight up tell you, I know it's hard. I know it's hard, everybody listening, because when you're running around, you're going to work, you got to drop the kids off, you got this, that, and the other thing, you don't have time. It's such an easy option because it's available to go just grab something quick. I do it all the time.
Right.
But there are times I remind myself when I buy the ingredients, we make stuff at home, I'm always happier.
Right.
I'm always like, this is so much better.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Here's the thing, right? We live in a better world now
Yeah.
than we did before. I know
yeah.
that the common perception is that things are worse than they've ever been. And
Yeah,
it's so
yeah,
terrible.
yeah,
It's
right, right,
It's
right.
not
No.
factually accurate. We actually live in a better time now than
Yeah.
it's ever been.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean that it's perfect or that it's good or that all of your concerns aren't valid.
Right.
They are.
Yeah.
But it's a better world.
Yeah. I agree.
So we don't live in a time where everybody doesn't have opportunities to go out and do things, and that's awesome. So you
Right.
can, like, mom and dad now are both able to go work, go have life goals that they can go try to go
Right,
get done,
right,
and make
right.
happen, right?
Yeah.
So the new kind of modern way of parenting and raising a family is that you really do it as a team.
yeah.
Right? That you're working with each other's schedules, you're zipping around to make things work so that everybody can do what they have to do so that we're all involved, and then by everybody pitching in, it all works.
Totally.
So make the food thing happen the same way. Make
Yeah.
it a
Work together.
team effort.
Work together.
Yes, and make it an event.
Yeah, we don't live in an era anymore where the dad comes home from work and is like, well, what's for dinner?
Right.
Like everybody needs to work together to like,
Right.
all right, I'll go to the store. I'll grab something on the way home. Let's make it together.
Right.
And it really brings the families together. It brings friendships together. Like there is something about when you're in the kitchen and you're preparing food, it's just a cool experience to like learn how to feed yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like your children will grow and be better able to provide for themselves as adults if they constantly witness ways to feed themselves.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And it's not always coming from a prepackaged, store thing, which that's fine to do.
Again, it's the
It's
whole
fine.
don't kill yourself for surviving, right?
Yeah, but
for figuring it out.
But I promise you, take a minute and when you're done, you'll go, oh, this was so nice.
This
You
was
will.
so nice.
Yeah.
And it'll be a fun experience because you can even involve your kids if you
Yeah.
have them in the process. Or if you don't, it's just you and roommates.
Yeah.
Man, have a day with your roommates where it's like, hey guys, let's make something.
Yeah.
And then you just all work together and you make a feast. It's fun.
It's fun. You'll probably have stuff left over, which you can have the next day.
Yeah.
You'll save a ton of money. And everybody wants to save money.
Yes.
Yeah.
And if you don't know how to cook, the secret to cooking is to just follow the recipe exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
And you can find, this isn't an era where you have to go buy a cookbook.
No.
We have literally cookbooks. We have every cookbook ever written in history available at our fingertips at all times.
Yeah.
So
exactly. It's
you're
there.
fine. It's
and
there.
Then here's the number one mistake that everybody makes is
Yeah.
they think, oh well, if I want to make half as much, I'll cut the recipe in half. It's like, okay, so no, it's chemistry.
Yeah.
There's like these recipes are specific.
Yeah.
And if you change the recipe and you go off of it on your own tangent, you're gonna make something terrible.
Yeah.
You're gonna unless you are extremely experienced in cooking.
Yeah.
And you are really good at the chemistry of it. Don't mess. Just do the recipe
Just do
as it's written.
the recipe. And then once you get good, play around.
Yes, then you can play.
Then be Gordon Ramsay.
Yes.
But for starters, just follow the thing. It's right there.
Somebody figured out the recipe. They figured out the chemistry.
They did the work.
Just try it.
Yeah. Agreed.
Try it.
Agreed.
This has been cooking.
This has been cooking. I know. I love how passionate we are. Number 13, walk instead of drive whenever possible.
Mm-hmm.
We've talked about that on Bike to Work Day. We talked about that a lot of times. How important it is to walk if you can. If you're gonna get something around the corner, just go for a walk. If you're gonna try to get out there, get on your feet, and just enjoy being outdoors. Walk around.
Yeah.
And then this is kind of in tandem with that as well. Number 14, take up bike riding or hiking as a great way to get outdoors. So take up some hobbies, activities. This is another way. If you're hiking, you're riding a bike, you're already lowering your carbon footprint, and you're also engaging with nature.
Yes.
So,
You're crushing
it.
so many of the steps
Yeah.
with one move on this last one.
Yeah. All right. And then number 15, the final one.
Yeah.
If you don't have an electric or hybrid vehicle, you should try to find ways to improve your fuel efficiency.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, baby. One of the most important ones. So there's a lot of tips. That's a link in here, once again, that will guide you to many ways that you can do that. So you're going to have to go to the site to learn those. Yeah. But the
most important
best
thing, way,
yes,
obviously, is to use Green Plus.
Agreed. Yeah, 100%.
Because
when you can use Green Plus, it will help.
And not only will it help, you can be guaranteed that it will help.
Mm-hmm.
We've got United Nations certification,
mm-hmm.
Texas Commission for Environmental Quality. Man, and that was reviewed by the EPA.
Mm-hmm.
And they're all saying 7% greenhouse gas reduction.
Yep. In Die Hard the movie, the weapons that he has to fight the terrorists are Green Plus bottles.
Green Plus bottles. he lights them on fire and he throws them.
Exactly.
At Alan Rickman.
Exactly.
Why can't I remember Alan Rickman's name in the movie? You know it.
It'll come to me.
And his brother was in the third one.
McClane. John.
Right?
Yes. Hans Gruber.
Hans Gruber.
Yeah, I know.
Thank you.
I hate it when it escapes you like that. When you know it like the back of your hand and it's there,
gone.
and then all of a sudden you're
Thank you for saying that. It feels so much better. Hans Gruber. I wonder how many people were screaming at the radio.
Right?
There.
People,
it's Hans
Gruber! Oh my gosh. Oh, that's good.
I know Clayton was.
Yeah, Clayton is definitely yelling, like, are you kidding me, Noel?
Yeah.
It's Hans Gruber.
Hans
We got
Gruber.
there,
He's
though.
like, we've watched that movie how many times?
Yeah. I can't remember. Did we call out the fact that I was wrong on that song Did we already do that on the last one?
Okay, so here's the deal,
Yeah.
ladies and gentlemen. We have our directing partner
Yeah.
who makes.
I can't remember if we did it on the
makes
last one or not,
projects
but
with
we're going to
us.
say it again.
His name's Clayton Cogswell. He's one of our oldest and dearest friends.
Yes.
And we've been through so many wars with this man.
Yes, yes.
So he listens to the podcast very religiously because
Because
he
he
he's
loves
our
us.
friend. He loves us. And he gets so mad at us every single time.
When we mess something
we
up,
mess up,
when we
have
quote
something.
or refer to something, there was a time that we were talking about something, and he was like, "I can't believe you wouldn't remember that."
Yeah.
And then I did the wrong artist of a song,
Yes.
and he was like, "You moron!"
Yes.
So, and then this time with Hans Gruber, he was definitely going like, "Are you kidding me?" But we got there, Clayton. So you don't have to be mad this time.
Yeah, yeah. Or you can,
Or you can be mad.
I guess, be
That's fine.
mad.
Whatever.
Just yell at us like he does. We get a text about an hour after our podcast release. We get a text from Clayton saying, "You doofuses."
He's gonna send a GIF of Hans Gruber falling. I'm not gonna tell me. Oh man, this has been awesome. These were 15 steps, and I hope they've been helpful for listeners. Those were some really simple, easy ways to make some small changes, and if you did many of those, you'll be making a positive impact for the planet. So
you will.
So go do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the meantime, I've been Noel Carroll.
And I've been Jacob Givens. I don't think we
never did it.
We never introduced ourselves.
didn't.
This whole time they had no idea who was talking.
We're like, who are these people?
Could this be future them? Could this be past them?
We don't know.
We don't know.
We don't know.
Yeah.
Because random people sometimes jump in these chairs all the time.
Exactly. So we've been your beacon of light in a gloomy environment.
We are sound years ahead of the competition.
We're saving the world eventually.
And we're tantamount.
That's it. That's it. Thanks for joining us. Bark. Yes, gusts.
It's the Biofriendly Podcast. It's the Biofriendly Podcast.